Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, and today I will be reading an Arlecchino listener by me. So let's get into it. The argument had started over something rather insignificant, and then it spiraled out of control far faster than either of you expected. Arlecchino was pacing the room, her voice sharp, her usual calm demeanor completely shattered. "You don't listen to me," she snapped, her hands clenched into fists at her sides. "I do listen, but you can't expect me to agree with everything you say," you retorted, frustration bubbling up inside you. Her eyes narrowed, and for a moment, you saw a flash of something dangerous in them. "You're being reckless, and you don't even realize it," she hissed, stepping even closer. But he stood your ground, unwilling to back down, no matter how angry she seemed. "You're the one being reckless, thinking you can control everything I do." The tension in the room was suffocating, and Arlecchino's anger was boiling over. She moved a step towards you, her hand reaching out, but in the heat of the moment, and her anger, her grip was far rougher than she needed it to be. Her hand closed around your arm, yanking your hand toward her with a force that made your heart stop for a moment. And before you could react, there was a sickening crack. The pain hit you instantly, sharp and intense, radiating from your arm, and you gasped, stumbling back, clutching your now limp limb. "Arlecchino, my arm." Her eyes widened, the anger draining from her face in an instant, morphing into horror. No, I didn't mean to," she stammered, stepping back, her hands trembling as she looked at you, with a mix of shock and horror in her face. She never meant to do that. She never intended to hurt you. You gritted your teeth against the pain, trying to steady yourself. You broke my arm," he whispered, your voice shaking as you cried softly. And she just stood there, completely frozen, her eyes darting from your face to your arm, and you could see the guilt wash over her like a wave. "I didn't mean to. I didn't want to hurt you," she said, her voice uncharacteristically soft, almost pleading, and tears stung at the corners of your eyes, both from the pain and the shock of the situation. "I know, but you did," you managed to say, your voice strained, and she was at your side in an instant, her usual composure completely gone. "I am truly sorry. I was too rough, and I lost control," she whispered, her hand hovering over your arm, as if she didn't know whether to touch you or keep her distance. And you flinched slightly as she moved closer, the pain making you instinctively pull away. And Arlecchino was no fool. No, she noticed, and the hurt that flickered across her face made your chest tighten. "Let me help, please," she said, her voice filled with nothing but regret. And you hesitated for a moment, but you could see the genuine remorse in her eyes. The way her usually confident posture had crumbled into something more fragile, and slowly you nodded. Arlecchino reached out again, much more carefully this time, her hand steady but gentle as she examined your arm. "We need to get you to a healer," she murmured, her voice laced with worry, and you winced as she touched your arm. But he nodded, knowing she was right. I can't believe this happened. I didn't think it would go this far. You muttered, shaking your head, and she sighed softly, her hand brushing against yours. Neither did I. I never intended to hurt you, Ion. I lost control. I have never. Her voice faltered, and for the first time, you saw her struggling to find the proper words. I apologize. I truly do. And you could feel her guilt, heavy and palpable. And despite the pain in your arm, you reached out to gently touch her hand. I know you didn't mean it, but I can't forgive you so easily. Just give me some time. Please. It's what I need right now. And I want to forgive you, but we can't. We can't let this go on forever. Please. Her eyes flicked up to meet yours, and she nodded, a sense of determination returning to her eyes. You're right. I don't want to hurt you ever again. She helped you stand, her arm steadying you as you went through the pain. Let's get you to that healer, and after that, we'll talk. You nodded, feeling the weight of the situation settle over both of you, but there was also a sense of relief. The trust between you was not completely shattered yet. It was shaken, yes, but it could be rebuilt. Eventually, together. And as you left the room, leaning on her for support, you knew that this moment, this fight, was not the end, as scary as it might have been. You'd make it through, both of you, even if it meant starting over and figuring out just how to balance your emotions with the fiery love that bound you together.